Three totally usable grooves, even though you don't. Whoa! DJ gets up in the gray stuff. Now, I was just going to say, you've seen the 60 of Ron Beauchamp. When you get up in that third lane, you can see all the dust and dirt come up off the tires. DJ got loose, and you see it just like a rooster tail coming off the right rear of his car. You know, kind of like a dirt car. Not quite where you want to be.
Yeah, three usable grooves you mentioned, but sometimes we need the wall as Pierre Bourque goes around and the 29 caution flag comes out. The Aaron Stream machine loops it as the field slows for the first caution. Here in Saskatoon, we'll get another look.
Well, he's down into the corner there. It looks, the way it went around, I think he must have got a little bit of help because Pierre was running really well. We were just bragging on him, and then around backwards he goes.
This one on board Trevor Siebert. Yeah, you can see the field stacked up in behind. Maybe Dave Whitlock got into the back. Nathan Wake was in there as well. So Pierre Bourque will have to rejoin from the tail of the field and start his trek forward again. But it is Don Thompson Jr., your leader early on in Saskatchewan. Welcome back to the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series here on TSN. Don Thompson's Home Hardware Chevy leads the Velocity Prairie Thunder 250 as we get set for the first restart of the day here on lap number 20. Green flags back up.
Back up through the gearbox heading for turn one. Thompson gets another great jump. Oh, Don's caught up the top side there. The 27 is going to try and sneak in there and steal the spot. Look at that horsepower down the backstretch.
Side-by-side restarts, but Don just can't seem to get going on those double file restarts to get past the Home Hardware Chevy of Don Thompson Jr. as he'll lead once again 229 laps to be completed here in Saskatoon. A battle for sixth spot between a couple of Dodges, a Mopar Dodge of Ron Beauchamp and the number 9 Dodge of Mark Dilley.
Pair of corporate boys going at it for bragging rights.
Look who slipped into third spot, your points leader, Andrew Ranger. He must have a little bit of confidence now on these ovals after picking up his very first round-and-round win in Vernon.
He just got so much confidence. The team and him are clicking. They got the communication down pat, and that new soft spring car is working really well.
Steckley on the outside of the 60. Steckley has already moved up into 9th spot. If he can get around Beauchamp, he's got a nose on him. But you remember, Steckley had to start shotgun on the field dead last, and he's working his way up. Well, second to last, I should say. Tom Nichols started dead last, but Steckley has had to work his way up through this field.
Well, Steckley's car has been handling really well. I've been watching him come up through the field, and it's handling down the straightaway quite well. And that all goes back to DJ Kennington. That's a DJ Kennington power plant in the 22 tonight.
Change for third spot. You saw the 02 BDI Ford Fusion of Kerry Mix. That car is working very well here this evening as we have a dice for 8th spot now. Steckley, the Canadian Tire Avenger, and the Dickies Dodge of Dave Whitlock. Battle door handle, door handle.
See that thing turn the hook? It's right in the middle of the corner. He turns it left, touches the gas, and he's already a car length gone. What a way to have a car hooked up.
Absolutely. It's a car handling like that makes you think you can run it with a 4-cylinder and still win.
Oh boy, you don't take much horsepower to go down around the racetrack when it's handling that well, but it doesn't hurt to have a bunch underneath the hood.
Interesting to note too about the 02 of Kerry Mix. He's running the soft spring setup. We talked about it in recent races about most of the field running that soft spring setup, and Mix really liking this setup underneath the car. Says it's the best car he's driven in 10 years.
Well, he was the last of the holdout, the old school guys that really liked the big spring setup and just had to muscle the car and do it best. And Kit Mixie was really good at muscling a bad car. Now with this soft spring setup, he's feeling right at home, and look for that cat to be real competitive for the rest of the season.
Every driver pretty competitive here today as the snap-on Dodge of Jason Hathaway is Hansen off the pace in the Prime Champ Dodge, the 40. And it looks like caution now comes out as Hansen looked like he was going to get going, but couldn't quite get back underway. So caution flies, and Hansen will likely head down pit lane. Yeah, flat right front tire for the Prime Champ Dodge of Joey Hansen.
Well, you can see the rubber marks in the right front fender. Obviously had contact with somebody. Probably a jack and post got the right front, knocked it down, and Hansen had to come to pit road.
Another driver down pit lane. It's Beauchamp.
Mopar Parts Dodge along pit road for a handling adjustment on the right side. 2 turns and a half into the right rear. A little bit of fuel. Ron Beauchamp Jr. had his hands full out there, guys.
Well, that was actually the panhard bar. They dropped the panhard bar. They'll tighten the car up all the way around the corner.
Nickel and Stacy also in the pits for some adjustments. Let's take a timeout and check with our Wheel and Insider feature with Todd.
Racers are always looking for new and innovative ways to keep in touch with their fans and promote their sponsors. Drivers have had websites and blogs and been on Facebook for a long time, but Twitter's now found its way into the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. One of those most active is driver Pierre Bourque. Now, what are you doing right now to send a tweet?
Well, I've just sent a tweet out off my BlackBerry that allows me to tell people who are following me that we're right in the middle of tech here. A lot of fans in NASCAR are following it, a lot of people from the world of NASCAR as well. Plus, all of my sponsors are there too, so it's a great way to stay in touch with all of these people who have an interest in NASCAR right now.
Okay, so I can follow Pierre just by going to the site twitter.com/Pierre Bourque, retrieve the message, and stay up to the second with the latest on his team.
Billy, do you tweet?
Heck, Dave, I'm old school. I don't even have a cell phone.
Apparently, you can't tweet off a rotary phone. Simone's in for some adjustments. You can keep up to date with the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series on Twitter at NASCAR Home Track, and we'll be back. Watching race number 7 of the 2009 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Don Thompson Jr. continues to lead the Velocity Prairie Thunder 250. John Gott's high-tech Gord Coates' own Dodge Avenger is on the outside, back to green for the second restart of the night here on lap 45.
Don Thompson Jr. really strong here tonight. He's got that thing hooked up right around the bottom. But look at this. Kerry Mix with that spec motor trying to take second away from John Gott.
Kerry Mix having his best run of the 09 season by far as he moves the 02 into second position. A couple of veterans in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series now in 1 and 2, Thompson and Mix.
There we go. Good look down. A bunch of Dodges racing down the front stretch. Look at that 21 car. Your hometown boy here. He's doing really well at the Speedway.
And as we ride along board in the 7th position car, that is Jason White, the A&W cruising the dub, number 21. White, who had high hopes for his home race in Vernon, BC. Unfortunately, mechanical gremlins came up to bite him there, but look, he's using this outside groove and doing very well in it in that 21.
Wow, that's just great to see the 21 car passing the 22 and the 9. He hasn't done that all year long. He's got that graduated banking, making that second groove work, keeping that Chevrolet wound up.
And Steckley looks like he's going to move to that high groove in the 22 to follow through the 21 as Jason White now battles alongside the 9 of Mark Dilley.
And don't forget the 22 of Scott Steckley started all the way in the back of the field. He had to blow that motor up in practice, made all that mess down in turn 1 and 2, and he's sure liking that DJ Kennington horsepower.
Absolutely. He's knocking on the door of the top 10 as White goes past the number 9 Dodge and Mark Dilley as we ride along with the Leland Industries number 9.
Great sound there. Mark Dilley nice and gentle on the gas pedal. Let those guys go. It's too early on to press the issue.
You're not really in the gas for very long here at Auto Clearing Motor Speedway, are you? It's just such a tight track.
Well, you're using so much momentum in the corner. You float it on in and get on the gas hard, but then again, you got to get off early to float it back down into the corner and not use up the brakes.
9th spot for grabs here in the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr. Gets past the number 39 Dickies Dodge of Dave Whitlock. Looks like Beauchamp liked those adjustments made to the Mopar Dodge.
Oh, for sure. We watched him put a couple rounds down on the Panhard bar, and what that does, Dave, as I said, it tightens the car up all the way around the corner. That thing looks good on entrance, and now he's able to put all that Ron Senior horsepower to use.
Good look at the high-tech drilling, number 12 of John Gott sitting in 3rd spot. Battle now between the 3 of Jason Hathaway and the 60 of Ron Beauchamp. 9th spot once again as Hathaway has got that car wound up on the outside groove. Looks like the second groove is working very well.
Wow, that's what gradual banking does for you. Makes that second groove just as good as the bottom, and the third groove just as good as both of them, as long as there's not too much debris up there for sure.
Listen to the engine note. Well, you can just hear it just quickly that what a difference it makes between here and the last race we stopped at, the road course in Edmonton, as the leaders start to work lap traffic. There's Pierre Bourque and Dexter Stacey right in front of Don Thompson Jr., but a big difference RPM-wise.
Oh, absolutely. Here, they'll hit 7,500 to 8,000 RPM for a split second, where at the road course, we held it up there 8,000 for, 700-800 feet or more.
5th spot up for grabs here. And remember, in last race, we saw J.R. Fitzpatrick almost 9,000 RPM, so definitely keeping the engine RPMs in check here in Saskatoon as we ride on board with the Castrol Dodge of DJ Kennington, who sits in 6th spot.
Well, we had a good listen there. The spotters keeping their drivers safe, telling what's going on, when they're clear, when they can pull down. Just great work. But the shot before that, we seen DJ Kennington getting passed by the 22 of Scott Steckley with that DJ Kennington borrowed motor.
You got to think he's radioing the crew going, we give him a good motor?
Yeah, what's wrong with mine? Can I have my motor back now, please? Anyway, great job. This racing is just like family. When somebody needs something, you give it to them because you want to beat them on the racetrack, not beat them with the parts you have in your trailer.
Absolutely. And it just goes to show you that car setup means so much. As Scott Steckley now has equal power to the 17 of DJ Kennington, but is able to go by on the racetrack.